running your first half marathon, you need to check this video out. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Fordy Runs. If this is your first time at Fordy Runs, make sure you smash that pink button down there that says subscribe on it. Go to our Facebook page and join the Fordy Runs running community, and check out the description. There's loads of cool things down there. Right, so half marathons, half marathon training and half marathon actually the race. This is a two-part of this video. The first one we're going to talk about training, and we're starting right now. Right guys, so in this video we're talking about the training for a half marathon. So firstly, well done for signing up to one. I'm guessing that's what you've done. The most important thing is to be aware that to run a half marathon you need a decent kind of base. Hopefully you've got to that kind of 10k level, and if you can run a 10k you can definitely run a half marathon. So the first kind of tip is get yourself that base where you're comfortable at that 10k level. Once you've done that, you're then ready to train for your first half marathon. Right, so the next thing to do is get yourself a training plan. Now, training plans are usually about 12 weeks for a half marathon, and there's plenty of good ones online, so you don't need to be buying one. You can actually even get my old one. It's still up on the website, fordyruns.com, and it's totally free. But you need like a 12-week plan, roughly. Yeah, that's probably a good shout. 12-week plan for your first half marathon. Key to half marathon training really is that longer run, and it's actually the same for when you go up to a marathon as well. And believe me, once you've done a half you will do a full. But the key to it is to work on that long run. Now hopefully you're doing about 3 runs a week. Most plans should be about that, but the main focus with a half marathon plan has got to be on that long run. Now for me, I always did a long run on a Sunday, and what you want to be doing is basically every week use the 10% rule and kind of stretch out that long run till you get to about 11-ish miles, maybe 12 miles. You can even complete the full distance if you want. I wouldn't recommend that if you're a beginner, but try and get yourself to about 11 miles. Work up to that. Say 10% rule is a good one to work on, but focus on the quality of that long run. Right, the next tip, and this is actually more of a thing to avoid, it's a bit of a mistake. A lot of people, when they get onto a half marathon plan, they tend to rush into it, do too much too soon, end up getting injured, which is a nightmare. So there's a plan there, you need to stick to it. Don't start running more than you need to. Run your runs nice and slow and steady. You don't need to be going mental and running like splits and all this kind of interval training, all that sort of stuff. It's your first half marathon, ease into it, take it easy, and don't go and get yourself injured by doing too much too soon. Something important to bear in mind, and it is a tip I suppose, is to balance rest with your actual running. It is just as important to get rest as it is to run. Your body needs time to heal. You're going to be putting a lot of strain on it, especially if you're going from that 10k to half marathon distance. You need to get plenty of sleep, plenty of rest between your runs. Your body needs to recover. Your body needs to adjust to what you're giving, you're asking it to do. So yeah, balance the kind of your running and your rest as best you can, because it really is just as important to get your runs in as it is to get your rest in. Right, with a half marathon, you're going to need to think about fueling. It's probably something you've not come across before, and you'll probably hear a lot of horror stories about gels and getting the runners trots and all that kind of stuff. But in your long runs, you need to find a fuel that works for you, because basically after about 45 minutes, 60 minutes, you're going to deplete all your carbohydrate stores and stuff like that. And that's where you hear the terminology carb loading the night before and all that kind of stuff. But you'll empty your stores basically after about 60 minutes, 45, 60 minutes, something like that. So you need to find a way to fuel. Gels, energy gels is an easy way to do it. I use I use Active Fruit to fuel my runs, and if I'm doing a marathon then I will take a gel, and that'll be a humid gel, which is a natural chai based one, because I don't necessarily like the sort of sugar ones because they don't work for me. But I think the best thing for you to do is do a bit of research. I've done some videos on gels and stuff like that, but find something that works for you. You don't have to have gels. You can use natural foods just as good, whether it be jam sandwiches, whether it be nuts, whether it be dates, whether it be, I don't know, anything. But try and find something that you can use in your long runs that will fuel you to get you to the end without hitting the wall. Right, so the next thing you need to work on is pace, and do that in your long runs. You can do it in your short runs, but try in your short runs to work on like running a bit faster and doing some hill work, stuff like that. But really you want to try and find a nice steady pace that will work for you. Ideally something you can hold a conversation at. When you find that pace, try and stick to it with your longer runs. So in your shorter runs, try and run a bit faster, try and get a bit of speed work done. But in those long runs, work on your pace, because on race day, pacing is essential. I did a video on a sub 2 hour half marathon, and you find a lot of people who run sort of around that 2 hour 10, 2 hour 15 mark. If you pace them correctly, actually, you'll get them through under sub 2 hours, and it's purely down to pacing, because most people, and me included, we go off too fast. So pacing is essential when you're doing these longer distances, especially when you go over 10k. So work on your pace during your long runs. Right, so the last tip is to set a realistic goal. Now, I find this with a lot of people, that they say they're going to do their first half marathon, they're going to run a sub 2, which is great, because some people can naturally run that, but others can't. My real advice to you, if you're doing your first half marathon, is just go and enjoy it. Don't focus on a time, focus on enjoying it, going through the process, because it won't be your last. So yeah, just don't worry about necessarily doing a sub 2, sub 2.5, or a 1:45, or whatever it is. Focus more on doing the event, enjoying it, having a laugh, having the accomplishment of actually completing a half marathon, because it is a long way. 30 miles is a long way. So yeah, set yourself realistic targets, but most importantly, enjoy it. Right, so that's it, guys. They're my half marathon training tips for all you first timers and new beginners out there. I hope it's useful. Don't forget to stay tuned for the next part of this video, which is about the actual race itself. But that's it from me. I'll catch you guys later.